Team, welcome to Raising Havana, episode 20. So today we pushed ourselves a little bit more. I've talked about the discomfort zone yesterday, but if you don't remember, the discomfort zone is that area where the dog has to work a little bit harder, think a little bit more about some of those basic foundation exercises that we've been doing. I came to do the work at the Woodland here, do some training, but there were quite a few people here, and there's a field opposite the Woodland that I can walk to, and we've never been there before, and Havana's never been there at all, actually, even with my family. So I thought, let's go out and let's do it, and I'll talk you through the day. The little walk that we did first of all was really, really nice. So you'll see she's really switched on. She's really checking in with me all the time. She's really, really engaged. Those marker cues that I have, so I've got the yes, which means come back to me for a reward. We've got chase, which means chase a treat. And we've got scatter, which means I'm going to throw a bunch of food on the floor. She's really getting those three, and you can see the differences in her body language when I say those things. But overall, in this little Woodland that I do a lot of training in with her, she's so switched on and she's so engaged. And you can see how excited she is to be out and about now, which is lovely. As we were walking along, we came across a couple of boulders, and one thing I want you guys to get into the habit of doing with your dogs as well is interacting with the environment. So when your dogs are at the ability to engage with you generally, we can start asking them to do things involving the environment. So you'll see that I've asked Havana to do a pause up here on this block, just rewarding her a few times, then asking her to get off. I'm making the environment and the interaction with the environment a part of the work that we do, so it's not just about her interacting with the environment overall. I was also really, really impressed with how she handled a lot of the cars and things, because she can be quite nervy of noises, but actually big main road, lots of cars going past, didn't stutter, didn't falter or anything, was quite happy to look, disengage and move on, which was fantastic. So what I'm going to do for one of the future videos is take her back up there and sit. The field is literally right next to the road, so I'm going to sit there on a blanket or something with her near the road, and just let her get used to those cars as well. But going on to the field, she was so excited to be in a new place, and you'll see the zoomies that she had. So I made a real point to calm and down by scattering some food, because I don't want the default behaviour when we're out and about to be zoomies all the time and real intense excitement. Obviously, she's absolutely fine to have a little run around and have a play, but I do want there to be that balance of calm thinking and kind of, you know, intense excitement for her. You'll also see in the video I was setting up to do some training, and she spotted a dog that was barking at her. Now, it's really, really important that, you know, in that situation, in that circumstance, Havana running over to that dog wouldn't have been nice for that dog, because that dog was a little bit uncomfortable with her, and definitely wouldn't have been nice for Havana, because she probably would have gotten told off. But I trusted Havana to disengage, I trusted her to look and process, and I wanted to let her process a barking dog, because she's going to come across those in her life. And she disengaged beautifully, got a massive amount of scatter feeding to lower that arousal and calm her down. Off camera as well, we also met another dog on lead. Now, there's something called the 3-second rule when we let dogs interact on lead, which is basically where they can interact for 3 seconds and then we move them on. The reason that that's around is that dogs on lead, when they meet, can actually get quite tense, so lead tension can cause a lot of reactions. There's not a lot of areas for the dogs to move, obviously, because they're kind of trapped on their leads. And so when our dogs do meet other dogs on lead, when Havana meets other dogs on lead, I'm going to ensure that actually she only meets them for a few seconds, then I call away and move on. This is also going to teach her that actually when we do meet people and dogs and things, we're not going to stay there forever and be fussed and played with all the time, because we've got things to do, we've got stuff to work on. So as a little tip, adopt the 3-second rule. Let your dog, if your dog's on lead and meets an off lead dog, or they're off lead and they meet an on lead dog, or both, two on lead dogs meeting, keep it at 3 seconds, call them away, move them along, wait for a disengagement, whatever type of training you're doing, and move on with your day. So we can actually get to the training portion now. I've talked about kind of everything else that we've done. Training wise, we did some coin indication work, which I was really, really impressed with. Completely new area, completely new place. And she smashed it. She did really, really well. She found the coin, she searched for it. I didn't move it around too much, because I just wanted to build that indication in. We got a little paw target on it as well at one point, but even so, I just waited that out. She put her nose back on it and we rewarded. So over the moon with that we're generalizing it to a completely new place. And then we did some toy play. So I've not done any toy play with her. out and about, really. And so I bought one of her balls and we've had a really good, fun, intense game of play. And you'll notice that with the play that I do, I follow a couple of really simple rules. The first rule is that we only play for a few seconds before I let her get it, then I run away and kind of call her in. So I'm building in that desire to retrieve a toy and bring it back to me, and also building that general desire to play with me and engage with me. I want her to want to come back and play. And building toys into the environment is going to be really useful because she does fixate on them. So I'm going to be able to use that as a really good reward for certain aspects of her training going forward as she gets a little bit older. But it was nice that I could go to a completely new place, get a toy out, and we could just have a little play and a little bit of fun, even though it was really, really tiring. Also, as another tip, try and keep play short and sweet if you can, because the shorter and sweeter the play, the more drive your dog is going to be. So I went about 1.5 minutes. I probably went 30 seconds too much with this, but overall, I was really pleased with it. So yeah. I've gone a little bit over time with this video because there was so much to kind of cram in and talk about. This entire experience lasted only about 45 minutes, I think. So, and there was lots of rest time in between. So because she's so young, we didn't go full pelt running and walking and chasing and things like that. We literally took our time, had a slow amble, sped up, slow amble, things like that. So if you've got any questions on today's video, I'm over the moon with her as always. You can drop a comment down below asking any of those questions. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel to find out more information about Havana and her daily adventures. And you can find me on Facebook at Jack Fenton the Dorset Dog Trainer. Thank you very much for watching, team, and I'll chat with you again soon. Bye.